Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers, let's go.
Well, let me tell you, brother, Ravishing Randy Hogan here, NWA WCW star, and I'm coming at you from the Can Crushers, baby. #1 podcast in the whole world, brother. Let me tell you, old school stories, not the same info, not the same questions, coming at you on a regular basis. And what you going to do when Can Crushers and Randomania run wild on you, brother?
Welcome to a very special Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. Not a weekly show, a legit special here on Can Crushers. You don't get it much because we do our work. We show up week in and week out to give you a podcast. That's no knock on anybody else. That's Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark. Jenks, just like EA Sports College Football 25, which we're playing today, this has been in the making for a while.
This has been stewing, brewing, jiving. We've been trying to get up. That was a terrible term, but we've been looking at this, reviewing it, and doing our homework probably since we were, 5 years old, Uppies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was when I was 5, you were...
I was not even the accident that I became. So, I was the accident baby, so it happens.
I have nothing to say to that. I'm enjoying...
I just acknowledge it at this point.
I'll acknowledge it, too. My fingers...
Acknowledge.
I'm enjoying a Southern Tier Juicy Jolt.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. I'm enjoying a sparkling ice water thing.
Well, you're good.
Water. I'm being good.
I thought, hey, we're recording a completely different day than we normally do. And I'm like, Jenks, remember, it's Saturday. It's Saturday for you listening, but you all know we're busy. So
yeah,
I thought I have to keep it going. And this is when I wanted to bring do you think it's Juice Jolt or Juicy? Because I know there's not a Y at it, and you're the Southern Tier guy. It just makes more sense if it's Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy Jolt.
Listen, the street name is Juicy Jolt. Let's be honest. Juice Jolt is probably what they named it because they couldn't afford to spend on a Y instead of an E. I don't know. But it's definitely Juicy Jolt. Yeah, the hyphen. It could, to your point, it could be Juicy Jolt.
Fancy.
Like Usain Bolt? Juicy Bolt. Jolt. Maybe.
There is lightning in a can, bottle, can, draft, whatever you want to. I digress. Jenks, I have a little bit of buyer's remorse.
Why?
Tuesday I sat around just sad that I didn't get the game. Actually, Monday night when it actually released, folks, I sat around watching people play it on YouTube, and I watched more on Tuesday, and I watched more on Wednesday, just saying, should have spent the extra $30. But then I would have taken the whole week off on vacation, and I don't know if that's...
Yeah, but see, the week of vacation, that's fine, whatever it is. It's the fact that the $30 would have been spent not for the 3 days extra you get with it, but for buying something that we're never going to play.
Right.
Besides maybe an experiment to see what the hell it is.
I don't even know about that.
Well, we may be too busy, but maybe down the line, a year from now, 5 years from now, I may say, oh, I got a new game, but why not see what this is all about now?
Right.
Who knows?
Let me see what this Ultimate Team that doesn't load up anymore does. Oh, it doesn't load up anymore? I have these card packages that I didn't open from 2024.
Hey, it just puts you at the top of the list at that point. You're number one.
I probably would. It's a great idea. So maybe I should start playing 2024 MLB The Show again. Online.
You might as well.
Holy hell. We have to get video games in a little bit, folks, because Honest Engine, that's all that we've been doing as you're listening to this. Friday, video games. Saturday, video games. Sunday, video games. Video games.
Yeah. This is our life now.
This is our life. Besides recording a podcast here or there, it will be video games. We won't make this a full video game show, but be prepared next week when we actually tell you who we've taken, how far we've made it in our dynasty on NCAA, and how bad we've sucked or ran the gamut.
I would say run the gamut. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. All right, but this is no wrestling talk this week because this is a special. We've been waiting for this one for a while. You might hear some Rick Derringer. You might hear some random songs from way back. We've been waiting to do this a while, and this is a special episode. Best and worst theme songs. Both of us will bring top 5. They will be different. I truly believe, because I will give you some of my criteria, Jenks, right now.
Do it.
I didn't do iconic ones. Because they're too iconic.
Okay. So, by iconic, we're defining this as, like, I'm a Real American?
That might be one for me.
Okay.
That is my childhood.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay.
Along with, on my list, because I think it's great. It's good. It's too good. It makes everybody's list. You're not going to hear the Glass Shatter on my list.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not on mine either.
You're not going to hear Gong.
Nope.
I hovered with Cult of Personality, but it means it's too much.
Yeah.
So these are legit theme songs that aren't iconic ones for me.
They're not ones that you would sit and play over and over again, right? They're not one, you may play them over and over again, but you're not sitting there thinking, that's the first thing I remember about that person.
Well, it is the first thing I remember about that person. Like the glass shattering, then the Crimson Blood of Stone.
Okay.
Then the beer truck, and then, but yes. But I know what you meant, what you were saying.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
They made the song didn't make them, maybe?
Yes.
Put it that way?
They represented what the song fits them because of who they are. And that made the song actually what it was.
But I might be double talking because there's 2 that I'm looking at right now that I'm like, oh shit. I think I did. Nonetheless. So how do you want to do this? I always call the punches here on the show. We're definitely doing, because we're going to be able to get through the good ones easily. And you guys are like, oh yeah, those are all great songs. It's the bad list is what we really want. So that's segment 2.
That's segment 2. That's 100% segment 2. All right.
Do you want to go 5 to 1? Do you want to go 1 to 5? Does it matter how you have them ranked? Because I don't really have them ranked at.
You ranked 5.
One that I have is number 1, my number 1.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I would say, if I'm looking at my list, the 5 that I have are more just 5 that I find
entertaining.
What I love. Entertaining and all of that.
And we'll do our list and then we'll do some shout outs as well.
Yeah, I think we have to have honorable mentions, because if you're thinking we don't have lists of at least 10, you're nuts. I mean,
10 on the good, about 30 on the bad. Just saying. All right, so we'll go back and forth. We'll both throw one at each other and call it in the air.
Heads.
It's tails.
Okay.
I let you go first.
All right. I will go 1 to 5 here.
No,
Number
one at a time. One at a time.
One at a time? Okay, fine. Get it all. Okay. So I will go, my first, I would actually pick the Wyatt Family original theme song. That first iconic one that played at WrestleMania 30 live. I think that epitomized the Wyatt family. That always gave me the heebie-jeebies, if you will, and always set the tone.
When they were the Louisianian, that's not a real word either, cult.
Yes.
Right?
From the swamps, just out of the bayou. Yeah.
Bayou probably would have been an easier word for me to use. And I've only had one. I love it. It dabbled my list, and I knew in my back pocket you were going to have it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we'll talk about it.
That's probably the least shocking one on my list, I think.
It's a great one. I do like all the other ones, but if you say only pick one Bray one, I go there.
Yeah.
I go there. I'm going to start generic right off the bat because he means so much to me, part of my childhood. It's not real American as you were kind of hinting around to, but it's Macho Man's. When you hear Pomp and Circumstances, and again, folks, we'd love to be able to play some of these clips for you, but listen, we know that it'll get taken down all over the place, so you'll either get one of our renditions of singing it.
Yeah. I will say Macho Man made my honorable mentions, but I will say it was honorable mention maybe because it has transcended wrestling and it's played everywhere. Obviously, it started before Macho Man, but Macho Man made
probably
it.
Graduations.
But Macho Man made it. Macho Man made it. Oh. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, all right. Number 2 for me is, this is embedded in my teen years before he took the ride down south, got perked up a little bit. The iconic Kurt Angle "You Suck" chant that you could yell "You Suck" towards, that whole theme, that epitomized gold medal play. The crowd, I love the crowd interaction, but I thought the theme itself was so amazing, and it felt like a gold medalist to me. And it's because of how he carried himself. You suck. You suck. You suck. So that's number 2 on my list. Kurt Angle.
I love it. Again, going childhood, and essentially, I talked about this at Clash at the Castle. Anytime there's bagpipes, Roddy Piper is always knocking at number 1 for me because I love the bagpipes. It does something. I don't have a will and testament written yet, but at my age and my stupidity and everything going on, I think when I write my will and testament, and I'm being dead fucking serious right now, we have to get the explicit even on specials. I think I'm going to put in my will and testament. I want a bagpiper there.
Nice.
Screw the family. Figure it out. But
get a bagpiper.
Get a bagpiper to probably play like Amazing Grace.
I would have thought Piper's theme song, but...
Well, I mean, it really is like the Scottish national anthem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, but...
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any Scottish in me. At least Amazing Grace, at least, is churchy. Not that I'm going to heaven or anything like that, but I can beg, borrow, and plead to get in as we end my life. God. Go to number 3 for you.
Wow. I will say I had Piper on my list, too. And I had to subliminally know you had these all on your list. So, but number 3, I'm going to come back to recent years. I'm going to hang out with Randall Keith Orton voices that, besides the singing and internationally, that song's just a banger to begin with.
It really is.
I love that song. I think it's amazing, and it fits him so well. So they hit it out of the park with that one.
I have always loved Voices, but it has now made a playlist of mine since the crowd sang it to us. It got elevated to almost epic for me.
The crowd element does take things to the next level. When you can play, sing along with it, or whatever it is. I agree with that. It just takes it to that next upper echelon, if you will.
My number 3 is what FTR is trying to do. It's Midnight Express.
Yeah.
There was just those chords, really no music. FTR has revamped it and made it to the 2020s now. But that Midnight Express, when you heard it, and I know, hopefully everybody realizes what Jenks and I are saying, one note from any of these that we're saying right now, you know who it is.
Yep.
Back in the 80s, you heard dun 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 dun. You knew it was the Midnight Express coming out. You didn't have to worry about, oh, what a rush, or Rock and Roll Express singing, or Team Titans, or whoever the hell were out there. You knew, and the Teen Titans were way farther than the 80s, by the way. You knew it was a Midnight Express, and then it was just, it's so subtle, but it fit them perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with it. I love that one. That's a good pick. I didn't have it, but it's a solid pick.
Well, I figured you'd have some type of FTR, and then I was going to reference Midnight Express, but I figured you'd have it by now.
I did have FTR on the list. It just wasn't in that top. It wasn't in my 5. Because, I'm going to go to the 80s here next. And it's not going to be where you think I've gone. Out of left field, it's Cool Cocky Bad by Honky Tonk Man. Nice. I mean, if we're not pulling that one, I don't know what to tell you. That is the epitome of cool of the 80s.
It really is. It really is. He's cool. He's cocky.
Yeah, I'm bad.
And he sang it himself, right?
Yeah, he did, of course. He had his pink Cadillac and he was singing it himself.
So then all of Jeff Jarrett's should be on here then too, right?
I toyed put him Be With My Baby Tonight, but it just didn't make the cut. It almost made the bad cut, though.
It almost made the bad cut. My number 4 is recent, right now. It just good, bad, and different. He doesn't use it when he's bad, but it is Let's Go! Sami Zayn's.
Yeah.
I just know when he's coming out. Sami Zayn's is one of my favorites. It probably will always be in my 5 because there is a little bit of crowd interaction, but not over the board with some of it. It's just perfect, and it just gets the underdog, Sami Zayn, ready to go, and it just feels like, hey, he could beat Gunther. Oh, and he did. He could beat Andre the Giant. We'll never know. But it just gives you those feels.
It gives you the blood rushing through your body. Like, yes, give me that. I agree. It's just one of those things that build you up and not break you down. So, I like it. Dun, dun, dun. All right. My number 5, pulling out of the list that I don't think anybody's ever thought of. I actually went to The Undertaker, but I'm going with You're Gonna Pay, the 2003 song.
Wow.
Dead Man Walking, You're Gonna Pay. I loved that song when I was a youth, and it's stuck in my head now. You're gonna pay, you're gonna pay. So I think that for some reason stuck with me all these years. And I thought Biker Taker was just complete and under badass, lack of better terms.
Yeah.
It was an American one, so.
Right, he's an American badass. I will get hate, mocked, ridiculed, anything else that you can imagine when I give you this next song. But it's so bad, and I love it. It's from the Pile Driver album. Okay, so take it as that.
Okay.
One of my favorite tag teams then was Strikeforce. Tito Santana, Rick Martel. I fucking love Girls in Cars. I love the song. I love the cheesy video. It still is on a playlist of mine that every once in a while it comes up. Girls in Cars, it's an 80s, and I know he didn't write it. Robbie Dupree, I think, wrote it. But it's a Springfield, it is a Derringer, it is it is a cheesy ass 80s song, and that's my heyday. I love you. Do you know it, Jenks?
Yeah, I do know it. 'Cause that song made my worst. I was not that fan of it. I was not that big a fan of it.
I loved it.
It's probably because I didn't live the era to truly appreciate it. Let's be honest. Some of these things I love, but maybe with Strikeforce, I just didn't live the era enough to get it.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I mean, it wasn't even like I was a horny teen then. I was young when Strikeforce was out. It just
resonated. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So as I'm trimming my list down, I have 4 left.
You have 4 left?
Hmm?
Okay. I can match that.
Okay. I'll go first.
I'll go first.
On this. It was my doorbell for the longest time. And when Miggy, because Max wasn't here yet, when Miggy does hear me play this song, he goes to the door because the doorbell rang.
Right.
It hasn't been our doorbell in years, but he's just remembered that Glorious was our doorbell.
That almost made the list.
It should have made the list. It was, listen, if I would have taken Girls in Cars off, Glorious was definitely, it's just so good. It encompassed everything that Robert Roode was then.
Yeah. No, I agree. And he was a hot commodity at that point. And let's be honest, his work in NXT made that song even more relevant.
Yeah.
Because it made it more egotistical around him and that. So, yeah, I like that one. I like that a lot. My first honorable mention I'll go with is actually Shinsuke Nakamura's NXT theme when he came into WWE as well. Because I thought he was the coolest shit when he came out the NXT TakeOver Dallas with Sammy. I just felt, this is Final Boss level shit. This is, before The Rock was making Final Boss, this was Final Boss aura, if you will.
Was. And that's why it made my list too.
Yeah,
right?
It was.
Same place, honorable mention.
Yep. So, you understand it.
Pat McAfee also helped.
Oh, yeah.
Along as well. And shout out to one of my buddies. His son would come out and do the jucking and jiving and then just throw himself back and do the whole Shinsuke thing, like on his living room floor when we were watching wrestling together. Yeah, it's those songs that you get I don't remember how old he was. He must have been like 5, probably. It's been a while since he used that. So, yeah.
It has been, yeah. Listen, I was doing it when I was 20-some when he first came out. I was doing the arm movement. I was getting it going. Like, you gotta, now I wasn't bending over at the knees. That was not going to happen because I'd never
get back up.
I'd lose my kneecaps at that point.
What do you got for your next one?
My next one is, I'm going to go with Demolition. I always loved hearing, you got the axe and the smasher, however it goes. But you guys know what I mean. Hearing that and then that entire theme song, chef's kiss.
Better than the Road Warriors song. Nothing against, What a Rush.
What a Rush.
WWE What a Rush sucked.
Yeah.
in their NWA days when they came out to Iron Man,
Yeah.
that would have been, a trump. That's a song, though. Okay? That's like legit song. Britt Baker also used Iron Man, the beginning of it, and then she went to Bad Blood, by the way, in her IWC days. It was,
that makes sense.
Yeah, she would play, how did I just say it started out? The Iron Man.
Oh. Like whatever.
No,
that's how it's, but
no,
what are you talking
Iron
about?
Man. No, I'm not talking about No, we have Bad Blood.
Okay.
A little switch, but
yeah.
Yeah, to get back, Demolitions was so much better than Oh What a Rush.
In WWE terms, yes, 100%. I love What a Rush. I love the beginning of that, but to me, Demolition lived it, breathed it, and that theme song was encapsulated it all. And the Axe Smash part of the theme was just perfect.
Oh, I agree. My next one, Bailey's Hugger song.
Yeah.
I mean, legit. If you go on YouTube and you type in Martinez wedding entrances, you'll see that we came out to Bailey's song.
Mm-hmm.
We came out the whole hugger thing. I didn't have the funds when we got married to get a wacky wavable inflatable 2-man. I tried. It got shot down. We had the funds. I tried. It just got shot down. But that song it's just so much fun. It's NXT Bailey, which, no disrespect, we love Bailey on the main roster. We love Bailey, period. But what she did in NXT, and then, you didn't really think of Sasha, but it was just so much fun. She had everybody up and going. Yeah, it was awesome.
100%. Love Bailey's theme song. My next honorable mention is Mr. Perfect. That was fantastic. That was the epitome of Mr. Perfect. There's not a theme song. I know it's not my top 5, but there's not a theme song that doesn't fit more perfectly than Mr. Perfect's theme song. Let's be honest. And I always love that song.
My last one on honorable mention, and it's probably more sentimental than anything, and it's just a common man.
Yep.
It was Dusty.
I've gotta love Dusty.
What they did to him in WWE with the polka dots and making him this, making him that, he just said, all right, I'll go with it. And that song, because listen, when he was NWA, he like a Cowboys theme, or when he was, the Midnight Rider. Oh, if you didn't know that he was a Midnight Rider, I apologize, by the way. All of that. It's another one that it was so bad mocking him, but it was so good because he lived it then. He's like, all right, whatever.
He owned it. He made sure that he was still taking his name.
Yeah. Hard times, brother. Hard
times. All right. So, my final
last good one, folks.
The last
then
good
we have
one.
a list.
Last good one. I got a couple. I'm going to go with this one.
You can do more.
All right. I got 2 more because a lot of my list you have already covered. So, my last good one to match up with Marksman, I got 2 more after that. I'm going to go Batista's I Walk Alone. Because if you're not jacked and you're not machine gunning with Batista during the whole thing like Woods did in WrestleMania 35, you've lost the sight of it. That was amazing, that theme song.
It was.
It got you jacked.
It did. And you play that song to any wrestling fan, they're going to slap themselves, not be able to get down, but go down anyway. And as soon as it hits,
I walk alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's beautiful.
Love it.
All right. 2 more that I have on this list that we didn't cover. Both mid-90s in a rivalry. A heated one. Epitomized the 90s for WWF. Mid-90s for WWF. I got the Hitman, Bret Hart, and I got Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy. Because if we're not giving Sexy Boy its love,
You can't give it to Brett then either.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta give them to both of them.
Yeah.
Sexy Boy, amazing. Shawn Michaels made that, whatever that fucking thing was, work perfectly.
Jimmy Hart. You know that's Jimmy Hart, right?
Yeah, I know it is. He made it work with what Jimmy Hart gave for him. We love it for him. And the Hitman, it's just so iconic. From the Hart Foundation into that.
Reach.
Yep, exactly.
I'll give one more shout out then, since you said those. And I know it's England's theme song, but the British Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just the English theme song. Apparently, I don't like anything from America, but I will take the Scottish national anthem on bagpipes and Great Britain / English theme song for the British Bulldogs.
I like it. You know what? You're representing the UK in this argument, I guess.
I am. Oh, I love O Canada, by the way, too. Honest Engine. I love O Canada is their theme song.
O Canada is a good theme song.
It really is. And this isn't a knock because Toronto loves us. Nope, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want hate in the United States. I love O Canada, though.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right. We're good? That's the good. That was the easy part. You guys could have named them probably with us. This next part is going to be unbelievable.
What are we digging out of the fucking earth
wait
on this?
Until you see this fucking list that I have. You wait.
I don't think you'll... I think there'll be some on mine you'll be like, holy fuck, I forgot that thing existed.
Yeah. No bills to pay because it's a special. We sponsored this show ourselves. So...
Exactly.
But make sure you listen everywhere. Join our socials. You guys know where they are. We're not even going to do that stuff. You know how to reach out to us. It's a special. We're going to regroup, come back. This is the part you've been waiting for. The worst theme songs that we think. He's nodding, so he's not going to say
I didn't know if you wanted me to say anything. There was nothing else about this stuff. Let's get to this shit.
It's Miss Reality, Maddie Runkowski, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I mean, it's not as real as me, but you could listen to my episode. Welcome
back, ladies and gentlemen, the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It is now time for the not perfect, the worst, the demolition of them all. This is the worst theme songs, in our opinion. And there are some fucking doozies probably on both of our lists.
These are dumpster dives.
Some of these I'm thinking, I don't think you people have heard of this in a long time.
Nor should you. Ever go back and listen to them again.
Leave them where they are. Now, I will say, we've already established, though, Mark, that one of your favorites was on my list. I know, but it happens. Maybe there's one on here that you're like, isn't so bad, Mike. And I'm going to be like, it's absolutely terrible.
I hope so. I hope we fight them for this. Go ahead. This is your section to run.
You want me to go? Okay, I'll go first. All right, the first one I'm going to go with is one that I got to get out of the way real quick. Sean Waltman has talked about this song and him being a little shit back in the early 2000s and being like, they had the Red Hot Chili Peppers lined up. But you know who I want? I want Uncle Kracker to sing a theme song for me. It's the X Factor theme song.
Yes.
That is brutally just terrible.
God awful. God awful.
Why? He had to have been out of his mind at that point that said,
Uncle Kracker. Was around...
That was 2001 to... Yeah.
I'm coming out hot, Jenks.
Okay.
Coming out hot. Be prepared.
Oh, God.
I fucking hate Seth Rollins' theme song. Absolutely hate Seth Rollins' theme song. The right now one. Because that's all you guys want to do. I don't care. It's too much during matches. You just pick it up whenever. There's songs that you can sing along to and then you stop. A la Randy Orton's, a la Cody Rhodes's, a la even Judas when it was hot. This fucking song does not need to be sung 20 minutes into the match. Stop.
Is it you hate this song or you hate the
that
people
much?
singing it?
All of it. And anything that encapsulates with it. Like, I hope Seth Rollins, goes away again for a hot minute, comes back with a new theme song. It is almost, you know what? It did make my list because I love and respect Dean Douglas so much. Even when he was Dean Douglas with the fingernails across the board, I like that better than I like Seth Rollins' song.
The hot take right off the fucking bat. And I don't hate it. Seth Rollins' theme song is not in my favorites.
Good.
I can tolerate it, though, and I don't hate it with a absolute
Passion.
visceral hatred that you do. But, all right. My next one was, I said I liked the original version of this, but this revised version of this for his son, absolute garbage. It's Curtis Axel's theme music when they redid Mr. Perfect. It was terrible. It had no business doing it. I get what they were trying to put across, but at the same time, it took a lot out of the original for me for a few years that I'm just like, ugh.
He didn't have the pedigree to come out and do a song anywhere near that, essentially.
Yeah. Exactly. He just never hit that spot. And when he debuted it, it was never there. And he was never going to get there. He just had too lofty of a goal. His father was literally that perfect that he couldn't reach that.
He should have stayed Mike McGillicuddy.
Yep. and never tried to live up that name.
Not mentioned until years later that Mr. Perfect was his dad. I think we all knew early, but
yeah,
the references killed him. The song did nothing for him. Yeah.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah.
Holla, holla! Fucking hate Kelly's song.
Hey, that's on my list.
Good.
I agree. That was shit.
That's all it is holla, holla, ding, 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 holla, holla, ding, 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 ding. Garbage.
Bad. Hot garbage.
I have nothing else to say about that. It doesn't fit.
I got nothing.
Rollins's. Plus, you have it too, so.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to stay in the 2000 or the 90s. Sweet Lovin' Arms for Bertha Faye was just not great. That was, whoa. That was,
you're going to catch on that there's an era of horrible songs, and we're going to knock them all off.
Oh, yeah. It's just, that one,
how can that couldn't get you pumped up for a fight whatsoever. It was a ballad.
It couldn't get you pumped up for a date if it tried.
Right.
Like, a blind date at that.
Yeah. It was bad. Was Isaac Yankum's a theme song, or was it just somebody holding a drill to a microphone?
I think it was a drill to the microphone.
It was like, shout out to our girl from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. The doctor will see you now. You might get a little bit of a drill if you listen, but there's some music. Like, she made a dentist cool in wrestling.
Yeah.
I know Isaac Yankum was the bad guy. Britt has been bad. Whatever. But it was just... How is that a song? How is that a theme? But I have a couple more like that, by the way.
Yeah. I just don't understand how that Kane survived past that and got... Past it, yes. He got redeemed, but that just ruined him for... Yeah. I think it was just bad. I gotta go right to censor, because if I hear that fucking alarm siren thing going off again, it
wasn't a song. I mean,
it was just loud noises to sirens and shit, to just horns, whatever you want to call it, just going off. It was terrible.
Listen, we both did like our homework doing these.
Yeah.
I have forgotten about some of these, but sitting down for hours listening to some of them, drinking heavily while doing it too. Some people put The Right to Censor on a noteworthy list. Like, how can this just a screaming siren make it on any good list?
Like, it only works if it's like a siren for like Big Papa Pump. Because the siren goes off and then holla if you hear me, and then it goes into the song. That works.
That was done.
Yeah, exactly. Blaring siren, no thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Sticking with just the noises, Skinner. They just put a recorder outside and let crickets and frogs and
I forgot about
stuff in the swamp. I understand he is a gator fighter. So is Outback Jack. He had Time Kangaroo down for it, and they actually made like a little din-din-din for him. Not the best, not the worst, but these were just sounds. Like, these were on the very first Nokia as a ringtone. Actually, then.
Maybe that's where they got him from. It's the Skinner's theme music.
Stupid.
Speaking of stupid, I gotta go Alex Riley, man. That shit was, if you haven't heard it, you know what? I'm just bless your ears with that.
I want everybody to go out and listen to all the worst songs.
I do too, because I think you need to listen to these and understand how bad these were. Alex Riley's is right up there. Mm-hmm. It had no direction. It played music at some point. There was theme to it. I don't know what was happening in it, to be honest. And it didn't match what his boring ass character was anyway, so.
His best time is when he was with Miz.
Yeah.
After that.
See ya. Yep.
See you later. Continuing, the Red Rooster. It was a cackle. With some music, another cackle. This will always be as a worst gimmick, as a worst song, and maybe that's something, Jenks, that I should write down. We should do best and worst gimmicks at some point a special on our, because I think these would change dramatically for us. I really do, especially like the age difference.
Yeah.
But the Red Rooster wins all the time, the time, because this poor bastard Terry Taylor was incredible wrestler, and you couldn't get into this, you couldn't do anything. He fucking had to strut around like a chicken and come out to clucking.
Yeah.
Bad. Absolutely bad.
He got fucked over on that.
Oh, yeah. They just wanted him from the NWA.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah. All right. My next one may get some hate. Maybe from you. But, man, Brutus the Barber Beefcake's theme song was not great.
Oh.
I hated that.
It was scissors.
It was scissors going, and I was like, fuck is this shit? Anything Brutus did just didn't encapsulate me. Zodiac, Brother,
after
the Disciple, everything
he
was
left from being the barber. His stint as the barber was great.
Yeah.
Him with Valentine was the epicenter of his career.
Yes. And then it went downhill from there. But the barber
song was god awful.
Yeah, it was god awful.
Showing no hate, but Brie mode. What is Brie mode?
That is absolute shit.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It was great. I love Nikki's song, Relentless, I believe it was called.
Yeah. Yep.
I loved hers. But I liked Brie better. I loved Brie. If they could have switched the theme songs or whatever, Nikki mode, I would have forgotten about Nikki.
Yeah.
Brie mode was god awful.
It was bad. My next one is I Love You, Brother Love.
No.
I did not like that one bit.
Nobody liked Brother Love.
Well, nobody liked Brother Love, so that added to my hatred. And the theme song was just god awful to me. So,
you don't like Loving? Is that what you're saying?
I don't. Yeah, you know what? Loving just doesn't do it for me. I guess
doesn't fit.
It just doesn't fit.
rockabillys.
Yeah, I knew that one was coming.
It was, and I know it means what it is. It was hillbilly. It was rock. It had a little twang to it. I know what they were trying to do, but it was me trying to make a song. Oh man, I really like that riff. Is that what they call it? I like that riff. I'm gonna put that in the beginning of the song. But he's rockabilly. Oh, so I need some banjo. They didn't encapsulate everything together. It just started one way, went to the next part, no synergy. There's a word for you. No synergy to the song. I think if they tweaked it, it could have been good, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. This is what you're coming out to, Billy Gunn.
Okay. I'm going to get hate for this one, but I have to do it here. Listen, I love to sing along to it, but it's out of spite more than anything. But I'm an Ass Man is just not a god-awful song. So I had to do it right back to back.
If we're being PC, that song could not be played.
Never again. You can't talk. He loves to love him. He loves to kiss him. He loves to touch him. Whatever he loves to do to him. He's just an ass man. Right. Ass man is just God. Leave it in the past.
Again, if you're a teen, it is what it is. But it's a different world. It's a different world.
100%.
Eric Rowan's solo, when he was carrying around I continue to forget, was it a spider?
Yeah.
What did he carry around? A rat? A spider? What was it?
It was a spider, because it was in the cage and all that, yeah.
Alright, when he was carrying that around, man, it was almost trying to be metal, because he was a vicious guy.
Yeah.
But there was undertones of, like, a little bit of upbeat in it. I'm like, this should be, like, death. Like, Slipknot should be singing for him.
Yeah. Metallica, Slayer, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It was carnival-y, I guess.
Yeah. But I think that was the tail end of Vince McMahon, so he was going down real quick on that hill. Yeah. My next one is Happy Corbin. And that's all I need to say.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I miss bum-ass Corbin. Let's just call a spade there.
T.L. Hopper. It was toilet flushing. Back to the sounds. It was toilet flushing.
It was toilet flushing. There's nothing good to come out of that.
Not at all.
No. Okay. Men on a Mission. No, thank you. You liked it?
No, not at all.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Not at all. Because it started with sounds, and then
they tried to rap, and it just didn't go well for.
With Oscar. Oscar tried.
Yeah, Oscar.
And I'm like,
you're not a rapper, man.
Yeah, he was not Max Caster.
No, he's not. No.
Bad. Sticking with just sounds, yet again, the Goon. It was just him scoring a goal every time. Or, yeah.
What's the point of that?
Right.
All right. You ready for this might get some hate. Diesel. The semi-truck and then the heavy riff afterwards just wasn't my thing. Was not my thing. I love Diesel, but I think the semi-truck kind of threw me off of it a little bit. It had a heavy undertone to it, but it just didn't.
It did.
Yeah.
I didn't love it or hate it.
Yeah.
But it was, again, all the ones we're mentioning, for the most part, you know who they at least are. Brie, well, you know it's Brie.
Yeah.
Diesel, at least it was like, and
yeah, and
like I didn't mind it. You might get some hate on that.
I might.
Oz.
Could have said Oz, but I will say I didn't watch Oz, so I could not name his theme song.
Cheers.
My life. Yeah, I know, right? But
Vinny Vegas, cheers.
Vinny Vegas, yeah. Diamond Stud. We'll go to Scott Hall at that point, but go on.
Bastion Booger.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm sick, or whatever. I'm like, and he ate during it, essentially. Like, it was stupid. The last one, I don't know if anybody's going to remember. I have one more.
I have one more, too. He's a man, a real man's man. William Regal as the lumberjack construction worker before he became sophisticated Regal.
That did him nothing.
It did him absolutely nothing. And had to have been just a rib for a couple years. Or however long it lasted.
Again, get him from WCW.
We
make
don't know what
him look
bad.
Do with them.
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad. Do you remember the first male model? Well, not the first. Not Rick Martel. Not Arrogance. But the second male model, then, essentially, in WWE. People are going to don't forget Adrian Adonis. Listen, I'm getting to a point. Do you remember Sylvan? He broke up when Les Resistance broke up.
Yeah.
Dupree actually had a career.
Yeah, I forgot about Sylvan.
And then Sylvan was a male model, and it was just like, Sylvan. And his song would do something. Sylvan model. It was.
Forgot about that. Oh, fuck.
Deep dive.
He pulled that out of obscurity and a half.
And then he was gone. His song might have made TV twice.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, don't forget Superstars was on back in the day, so he definitely made.
He probably got something. You know, it wasn't on my list, but the one that this just made me think of, Spirit Squad was god awful.
I'm Mikey. I'm
Nicky. I'm Kenny. Which Kenny showing up randomly as an agent these past couple weeks threw me off guard. By the way, yeah. I know he's been around for a while, but whatever. It's been.
We're seeing him.
We're seeing him now. So, but yeah, Spirit Squad. Ugh.
There's so many more. Like as I'm sitting in the podcast room, like I wish I would have given some love to Vader's when it was NWA. But then I'm also looking around and I'm like, oh my God, we should bring up this one and that one and this one. This could be hours. We wanted to bring back some of this nonsense.
The nostalgia nonsense of it all. Yeah.
If anything, for you, we have some homework for you this week. Give us a list of some that you hated in the email. Let's do it in the email so we have the list and we can kind of listen to them and then bounce them off next week if anybody writes in. That would be awesome. We can talk about them a little bit more. But any ones that you liked or you hated, and again, use your wrestling knowledge that we're not going to talk about Stone Colds. We're not going to talk about The Undertakers. We're not going to, even Cena's, we're not going to talk about because they all mean so much to wrestling, them, and us. People that we didn't mention, if you really liked, I don't know, let me look around real quick, Jenks. If you liked Fabulous about Carmella, let me know why.
Do you like the Quebecers, the Rouges, got Lita. We didn't talk about Lita.
Behind me?
Well, I looked at the Quebec. I thought I saw Lita at one point, and then
down in the corner over there.
Yeah, I was going to say. I knew I saw her. But
I redid the podcast room, by the way.
So we flipped it around.
That's why Jenks is getting another look at different pictures now.
I'm absorbing all of what I'm seeing here. But if you think about it or you think of other people, write it in and let us know so that we can remember.
We can mock you. Or
we can all cry together because we listen to it on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you guys still do, honestly. Go back and listen to some of these albums. I know we just made fun of them, but when I was a kid and I got that first Land of a Thousand Dances album, by the way, I wish I knew, with albums coming back now, I wish I knew where it was, what happened to it. Who knows? Then I got Pile Driver. This was like, oh my God, wrestlers are singing. And I would listen to these. I could only imagine what my mom and dad thought when they're listening to, you know, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik sitting up in my room, and they're like, "Oh my God," because they're god awful.
Yeah,
Girls in Cars. I mocked everyone. I love the song, but it ain't good. It's just memories that makes it good.
It's taking those core memories and bringing it back to the forefront, right? Yeah. When it was simpler times.
It really was.
It was simpler times back then.
But let me say this, Jenks, and I mean this wholeheartedly. As much as we just made fun of, you know, DL Hoppers of toilets flushing, you knew who it was right off the bat.
Yeah.
We've been to a few wrestling, well, we've been, me and you, to a wrestling event together, and me and a couple of buddies. There's times now, day and age, music has to play a long time before I'm like, oh, or I have to wait until it's on the screen who the hell it is.
Yeah.
Because they all sound alike. That's why not many of the now songs didn't make something that we like.
Listen, I will always give Jim Johnson his dues, because what he did was take a concept or an idea of an individual and craft the song to match what that individual was or was supposed to be. Some of them ended up being stinkers, but it's because the gimmick was the stinker of it all, right? But he did it to match what the gimmick was, and that's what made his time in WWE, WWF so magical. And that's why we think fondly of a lot of the theme songs that we talk about.
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
We at least remember them.
Yes.
I want to leave with this question, Jenks. Did AJ Lee's Light It Up fit her? Or should she have had like an Avril Lavigne song?
This is a trap question. And you don't know it was a trap question. Because Light It Up almost made my worst list.
Really?
I did not. Because it did not fit her the way I think something else would have. So this is amazing that you're asking this question. I didn't tell Mark this.
No, this is...
You must have been on the
last thing I had notes.
This was the same, must have been on a wavelength or something. If she had something like an Avril Lavigne or something that like angsty or something along those lines, I think it would be in the top theme songs for me. I just did not like that theme song.
I liked the song. Let's light it up, let's light it up. I liked the song. It was upbeat.
Right.
It didn't go with AJ. Yeah,
No.
she skipped out and everything, but she needed, and you guys know, I don't want to say emo music, but I just did. She needed something like that, a Nirvana song, something like that.
Yeah.
It
something
never fit.
She was the cult of personality for the women's division, so she should have had a song that matched that energy.
Agreed. Agreed. How about that? It just shows we're on this. Neither one of us brought it up.
I know. Nobody brought it up. I'm surprised that you even had that as a question.
Yep.
That's amazing. Because I was like, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it.
Oh, I will.
I love it.
So, real talk, and I lied. What is your all-time favorite song for wrestling? Including epic ones.
If I'm sitting here talking about it, it has to be... Like, I love Stone Cold. I love all of that. But to me, it truly has to be... I love The Undertaker too much to not give him props. I gotta say The Undertaker. The original, the gong, and all of that. There's so many, though, I could list that were
There's two that are 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
You just gave 1A out. Because if you only hear one gong, and that's the only thing you hear the rest of the night, you know you're going to see The Undertaker at some point. On TV, at the show, on the pay-per-view, whatever. That's all he ever needs is gong. Nothing else. And we would mock that. We would. That he only came out to a gong. We would. My other one, you think you know me.
Yeah. No.
It just puts, even sitting home on a couch, solo, it puts you in a mood. It puts you there. You're in an arena and that hits. You are just engulfed in the business then.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably my favorite too. I agree. I love Macho Man. I love the Bret Hart one. I mean, there's a ton that I truly love. Even the Glass. But those two are close. Close, because you know who it is, and you know what the fuck is coming.
Mm-hmm. And it's a whirlwind. I agree with that. Metalingus. We didn't mention it, but it's iconic at this point.
It is. That's why I didn't bring it up. I mean, because it's an iconic song. It really is. It's a legit song too, by the way. So if anything, Jenks, out of this, we have another special to work on. We do have more in the hopper, but we came up with best and worst gimmicks that I think we've never really touched on.
We have not. We got to talk about this.
That's another great special. Trust me, there's going to be more specials to come now that it's midsummer / into fall. This is when we kind of personally get busy in life. Yeah. Between going here, doing this, going that. So be prepared for more specials to come. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Jenks, parting words, anything to say?
Listen, whatever songs get you jazzed up, enjoy them, embrace them, love them. If you love Bertha Faye, or maybe you love yourself some Uncle Cracker, you do you, boo. But at the end of the day, you gotta embrace what you love, hate what you hate, and move forward in life. And just celebrate good times.
And remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop, whoop.